Alright, folks, and welcome back to the channel. We're just back to discuss outgoings and incomings at Celtic. I say incomings with it we're trying to bust out laughing, but it is what it is. But I will just be here for probably the next 10-15 minutes discussing the latest Celtic news, and also just discussing any outgoings or incomings. As I says, I'm joined by I bet a YouTube celebrity now. He's now been on 2 podcasts as well now. Joined by Alistair as usual. How you doing, Alistair?
Aye, good thanks, pal. Good
By the
thanks.
way, I thought you were really good on the Celtic Supporters podcast, so I'll give you that. And you gave the channel a shout out, so
Right,
cheers.
aye, no bother, mate.
But apart from that, how are you?
Subscribers, so we can
Hopefully.
subscribe.
Talking about subscribers, if you want to subscribe, it's just if you please could do it, help the channel, and also the Twitter and the Blue Sky handles are currently going along the screen at the moment. But apart from that, Alistair, how you doing?
I'm not gonna lie, Josh. And you obviously watched the podcast last night. It's as flat as I've
It was
been.
explosive it was, man.
It's as flat as I felt getting into a season. Probably since I've been a season ticket holder, and that's not an exaggeration.
Jesus, what worse than Gordon Strachan?
Aye, well, for the start of the season, I swear to God, because even and I'm sorry I'm ranting and raving here, but I think at least we've always kind of bought players in. We're not even doing that now. We're bringing projects in.
Aye, but Alistair, I mean, I think the best way to start off, obviously, we've not had a lot of things to actually talk about, as you've said there about incomings, but the one player that has emerged as a potential incoming on loan is Manchester City centre half Simpson Pusey. Try saying that when you're pissed.
Aye.
Obviously, Alistair, a Manchester City centre half, played most of
Where have we
his.
seen that before?
Exactly. I mean, to be fair, Jason and I didn't work out too badly, but yeah, I was hit or
Did
miss.
this boy out? I really.
Aye, no,
It's very good and bad him.
aye,
It was
no, I
bad.
know,
Seen worse.
I know. But aye, we've seen obviously this break a few days ago that were linked, and you're just thinking, oh, here, this is another one to tick off the bingo list. Because you just knew that someone was coming, loans or whatever. The latest reports as well, Alistair, there's not going to be any options at the end to purchase Simpson Pusey. I mean, I'll go into that in a minute, but we may as well look at the player himself. As I said, plays for obviously Manchester City. Made some appearances for the first team last season.
In the Champions League,
Played in the Champions League. Made 2 appearances in the Champions League, along with 2 one in the EFL Cup and one in the FA Cup, along with 2 Premier League appearances. So he has made his kind of breakthrough into the Man City first team. I think he's probably looking for that next step. Obviously, as I said, he played most of his time in that Premier League 2, winning the Premier League 2 twice. Made 15 appearances in that also last season as well. I mean, Alistair, we'll go on to the board and everything in a minute, right? But in terms of him as a player, I think he's a decent enough player. He's a young player, and as I said, he's got some sort of experience. Now, is it ideal? And we'll go into the whole thing with nuts and bolts of the deal in a minute because I have got a bit to say about that. But would you think, looking on at his face value, is him as a player? Don't bring in the loan or anything, just him as a player. What would you think about it?
I've no love for Man City, so I've never seen him before in my life, so I kind of like you, Josh. But if he's kind of going for Man City, you would think he has to be decent. But it looks, apparently he's right-footed. which considering we need a left-footed centre half, kind of sums up where we are with this recruitment. But I'm just going to have a rant with, and it's not about the bringing the boy in, no harm to the boy, but surely to God it makes sense for us to develop Dane Murray. If this boy isn't going to be at Celtic longer term, I mean, what message does that send out to anybody that's half decent in the reserves if you want to go down that route? You're bringing in a 19-year-old from Man City when you've got a 19-year-old of our own.
I know, I do understand that. I've seen that
It
point
doesn't
being
seem,
branded.
it
Before we
doesn't
go, so I'll hang me the point at the board in a minute, but I just think it's important that if he does come in, and he does sign, I think this goes for any player that we bring in. Don't take your anger out on them
no,
because
it's
it's
not
not
there.
their fault. It's not their fault. Take your anger out on the right people, and by the right people, I mean Peter Lawwell, Michael Nixon, Dermot Desmond, all the board members, to be honest with you, and the recruitment team as well. But if I've even got one. But in terms of, we'll go into the structure of the deal, Alistair, because as I said, I was going to have a bit of a moan about that myself. Good player, but in terms of the structure of the deal, and this just goes for any player that we sign on loan, obviously within reason, but you know, we need an option to buy because, especially centre half, because we have him for a season, right? For instance, we have Pusey for a season, and you know we've spent a lot of money in centre halves. Naroki, Lagabelka, obviously Scales has been in there. You know, Trusty was brought in for £6-7 million last season. You know, so we've spent a lot of money in that position. And since Carol Starfelt left, who was apparently surplus to the client, so a lot of people, which I just
And
found
not
mental.
made for a lot of
Aye.
people either.
But you know, I think we've just no found that partner for Cameron Carter Vickers. It's always been a position I actually feel sorry for Cameron Carter Vickers because he's just not had that, you know, partner since obviously Starfelt left, and we've seen how good they were together. So
Never
Alistair,
lost a game
aye,
together.
exactly. And my plan was for this summer was to go in and go, right, a Celtic going to do the recruit. Maybe that was my first fault. Do the recruitment properly, find a centre half, and who can partner up with Cameron Carter Vickers and stop this reckless spending of changing centre halves every single season, it seemed like. But
Yeah,
no, we're
well,
not going to
well,
do that.
the
Aye,
same with the
well,
left back. We've moved on
exactly.
for the left back to the centre half, and after the centre half sorted up with a striker, we just can't do anything right
Nah.
as a
And
recruitment staff.
they've knew we've needed a centre half for a while. You know, you're not telling me that Roger St. Liam Scales is a starting centre half for Celtic. It's not stupid. It's not stupid, but it's
Call me
just
cynical, Josh. Sorry, call me
aye.
cynical, but I think they're bringing this guy in so they can sell Welsh for money. And I've not got a problem with letting Welsh go. But again, it's the old M word. We're getting a loan and we're selling one for money. Tell me I'm wrong.
No, exactly. And just it's just really underwhelming again. Maybe not him as a player, but you know, I expected Celtic to maybe go and spend, not even spend, but bring in a permanent centre half with the money that we've got, and that just seems to be the, as you're saying, the dreaded M word. Every single week we're talking about money, 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 but it's not us that do it. It's the Celtic board that go on and on and on and on and on and on about all the cash and all the money that they've got. So you know, it's just I just think it's the fact it's not got a loan to buy option just really annoys me. I just think you've got
And
the same situation.
let's be honest. we don't know it's not got a buy option because it's
Well, at
no
the
way in
moment,
that.
it seems
Yeah, but it looks very unlikely.
it looks very likely. Now, if they turn around and go, there's a buy option, brilliant, because I think he's a
I'll
decent
change
player.
my mind then.
I think
Change
he's
my
a
mind.
decent player. And I don't think me and Alistair only doubt how good he is as a player. So I think you need to separate him as a player and the structure of the deal. The structure of the deal is the problem I've got with it because we'll just be the same. Say he does come up here and have a great season, right? Say he
Denier.
comes up, say Denier, right? I like Jason Denier. Like we're growing up, he was on the highlights, the Ronnie Dyler era, if there was any. Um, but he was a decent enough player. I was a little young at the time when Denier was going about, but I like Denier, and I just think he was brilliant. I think he could have done a job under Brendan Rodgers when even Dyer left. To be honest with you, um, and I just think you're
Yeah.
kicking the can down the road because we'll be back in the same situation next summer. Instead of going out and doing your recruitment and going at right, Brendan wants a centre half. Right, here's Justin De Haas or whatever, the guy in Portugal that we're linked with. What about him? Why are we not trying to go out and try and get the cat? And it's not like cash is strapped. We've got millions of it. So it's just complete underwhelming, honestly.
We're now at the 30th of August. Well, we will be because we're not going to sign anybody in the next year. We're now at the 30th
For July, you
of
mean?
July, so made a complete boob there. But at the end of the day, 30th of July, and we put one player in July, and people
It's
can accuse us of bedwetting and having a lack of belief. It's not a lack of belief in the team, but the team needs help. You need to, a blind man could see that. I was going to say something else. I'm glad I never. But a blind man could see that. I mean, look at the depth. How many players in the squad would you say you can rely on? 13, 14 is my limit.
starting 11. Even some players in the starting 11, I'm a bit iffy with relying on as well, to be perfectly honest with you. But
No,
that's,
but if you
that's
had to, Josh, you're looking at 13, 14
aye,
players max.
mm-hmm,
That's not good
aye,
enough for a season. It
aye.
really is.
It's just with the centre half anyway. To be honest with you, if he comes in as any other Celtic player, I wish him well. What he does, to be honest with you, and hope he does really well for us. But it's just really annoying if there's
What's
no.
Pusey, simple, player of the year. What's the odds there
But
for
then
that?
that's the thing. If he comes up, and does really well. At least with Cameron Carter Vickers, there was an option there.
Aye,
You
aye.
know, and
Well,
I thought they would have learned me
we
Adam
can
Mead. I know
hope,
they.
we can hope they will be an option
Aye.
because, as I say, we don't 100% know there's no going to be. So maybe that's what's. Maybe I'm giving the Celtic board too much credit. Maybe that's what's holding
No,
up
well, I
me.
hope there is, and I hope there isn't.
I
I think
doubt it.
I hope Altman is a positive end to this window, but I just highly doubt it. Alistair, the other position that seems to be a bit of a mess at the moment is the winger position. Obviously we've been linked all summer with wingers. Even before Nicholas Kuhn left for Como 3 weeks ago. Obviously Balakwisha's not going to happen. I don't think. You've had that.
It
Is it?
played last week, so obviously no.
You've had that. Is it Brown or something for
I
Go
go
Ahead
ahead.
Eagles, which is just turning it into a bit of embarrassment for the club personally. But so you've had Odricette. I was obviously being linked a few times as well.
Apparently, before even put a bid in for him.
So I don't even know, to be honest with you, at this point. But now Alistair,
I don't think they know.
now Alistair, the wingers are. It's now affecting the wingers. No coming in are now affecting outgoings. It's turned out that obviously Marco Tellio's obviously moved to Rapid Vienna, which was probably agreed weeks ago. He can't
Probably
leave,
done. It was
he
done.
can't leave until we bring another winger in. It was Aussie Footy HQ who says Marco Tellio is planned as a new signing for Rapid Vienna, but Celtic won't let Tellio leave until a new winger arrives in Glasgow. That was also then followed up by Mark Henry's thing about Yang to say that Norwich had now basically left their interest in Yang, and I would just assume that was because Celtic were taking too long because we didn't have enough cover in that area, which is just, I mean, I don't even know what to say about that. I really don't.
If you want my honest opinion, that's Roger saying no more winners leave here until I get mine in. So that's clearly what it is.
It's
And
clearly
for
what
the
it is.
and for the record, I do think both will go, but I don't think they'll go before we get replacements. And they'll probably go in deadline day, because that's what Celtic do.
Mm. No,
And you're going to have two unhappy players. I very much doubt you would have seen Tallio again, but you still need him as cover.
the fact that we need somebody for cover who is absolutely rank
That's
rotten,
Iberia a year ago.
rank rotten in pre-season as well. By the way, he was rank rotten,
Yep.
to be perfectly honest, and that's me putting it kindly. He was horrendously bad. At least with players like Trusting, I can see there's something, but I mean that was even Yang. I could see maybe there's something with in pre-season, but Tellio was awful. Yang for me surplus to the requirements as well. As you said, that Alistair, he's apparently made it clear that he wants to try and explore new things. Now, do I think Yang's going to throw the toys at the pram? I don't think so, but it's just not
You
really a
never
good
know.
look for Celtic. It's not a good look at all, to be honest with you, at the moment. It's just shows the mess that we're in, unfortunately. It's just caps it off, to be perfectly honest.
And we still don't have a concrete winger that we know is coming in. And we're now at an hour off Wednesday, and our season starts on Sunday. It's a joke. It's a
No, it's a
circus.
joke.
It's a
It
circus.
is unfortunate. And you're talking about Sunday there. Realistically, we're going to, we're into Sunday. For me, realistically, with one winger that I'd be happy to start, and that's not me being disrespectful to players like James Forrest. James Forrest is not fit enough to start 90 minutes all the time now. Yang's inconsistent. Tellio I don't even need to explain that. I mean, he's not good enough.
He's played 7 minutes of competitive
Aye. So Maeda's the only one I'd sit and go, I know that's fine, and I'm happy with that. So it's just a mess. Obviously, Alistair, we've had the complete embarrassment of the bids for Jacob Broom from Go Ahead Eagles. Go Ahead Eagles want £5 million, and we're bidding. We deem it acceptable to bid £1.5 million and £1.75 million, respectively.
Apparently.
Aye. No, I understand, right? I understand you don't bid for what I get. I wouldn't want Celtic to bid what they're asking for. Obviously, you need to do a bit of wriggle room because I don't like a club could go, I know he's worth 10 million, but you could maybe go, I know we want to bid 7. That's fine. That's at least a respectable first offer. For a guy that's worth £5-6 million, and you deem it acceptable to bid 1.5 million and act that you're putting an improved offer when it's only £250,000 more, and you're opening yourself up to scrutiny there, Alistair. And we did see the scrutiny from the Go Ahead Eagles chief executive or chairman, whatever, who basically came out and called Celtic embarrassing, and he has got a fairly good point to do that. Every single right to do that, because it is embarrassing. I'm not Celtic aren't Real Madrid, right? I know, but we've got a really good European pedigree, and it's embarrassing. We've got we're a big club. We don't act like a big club now, and I really do fear if Celtic start farting about and lowballing, clubs are not going to want to deal with us anymore.
Yeah.
Because there's an offer for Celtic. I'm alright, thanks.
Yeah,
go to someone else.
Apparently, Josh, the first bid was in June, and we're still in talks with them. Apparently, I mean, I know it's all hearsay. I don't believe we're in talks. I think that's to keep the rules away from the door.
It's not keeping the rules, but It's actually making it worse. It's not keeping the Wolves away from the door. It's making it worse.
But so they can come out and say they're trying. That's what I mean.
It's not going to wash this time, Alistair. Not going to wash.
No,
Fans are too
no.
annoyed. Fans are too annoyed. You know, it's all right trying. It's about getting the players in. The money's there.
I will say
And
one thing, Josh, I have found very telling. When Quan left to go to Nantes, I did find it funny is the wrong word. I did find it interesting that the club never gave a fee for what they were getting in for Quan. Now, I don't think it'll be life changing money, but the fact is, they didn't tell us any information. And I thought, because they know if they tell us
they'll get
information, they'll get ridiculed. We'll get
no,
ridiculed.
definitely.
Rightly so.
Aye.
Rightly.
But it's just embarrassing, to be honest with you, as a club. And you know, the thing that really annoys me, and I think annoyed a lot of fans, is there's a core of a good squad there that showed it last season. We've brought in Kieran Tierney, good top left backs looking good, Negrin's looking good, and Amura in pre-season's impressed. Yamada,
It's better.
Trusty's looked good. Yamada's come in for that game against Al Hilal, and he's impressed as well. So, and that's the annoying thing. But yeah, again, it's the board that are standing in their way and the ambition of the club. And I'm going to be brutally honest and say it. They don't care. They don't care. As long as we are one step ahead of Rangers, they're fine. That's what they see fit. And obviously, you want to beat Rangers, you want to beat a rival, just like Rangers want to beat us and whatever else. But you also want to try and keep improving in Europe. And I'm sorry if they can't see that Brendan Rodgers has improved us in Europe after that show last season, then they can see it. They just choose not to. They just choose to be ignorant. They just choose to. And the fans are continuously shafted by the board, and I'm continuing. And I have this conversation every single year. But fans buy kits, fans buy season tickets, fans buy everything else to be continuously shafted by the Celtic board. It's not acceptable.
They've got us by the balls.
They have.
And I'm being funny.
But it'll become a point where the patience has got to run out.
I think
and I think we're getting to that point again. It's not acceptable. It's nowhere near acceptable. We lost Kyogo Furuhashi, our best striker since Emmett Larson.
Almost a year ago.
Aye, in January. Aye. We lost a 30 plus goal contributions 3 weeks ago in Nicholas Kuhn. We've not replaced. We've needed a centre half, not bothered to get one. We've talked about maybe a backup midfielder, not bothered to get one. We've talked about another striker. We got Yamada, but Rodgers has said is not who I want. We've not got the player that Brendan Rodgers wants. So I don't get this. The Champions League playoff draw is on Monday.
Yeah, and the tie could be 3 weeks tonight.
I think it's
3 weeks tonight or tomorrow.
First leg, I think it's 3 weeks.
3 weeks this midweek. 3 weeks this midweek. We're playing a playoff.
Aye.
Who are they kidding? They couldn't
run
a corner goal, by the way.
No, they don't care, unfortunately. Nicholson, Lowell, Mackay, just the board in general, they don't give a flying rat's arse, excuse my language, about Celtic supporters. They just care the Celtic, fans like me and yourself buy our season tickets and buy our kits and buy this and whatever. When we want to see some quality on the park, it's non-existent. And you know what? It's an absolute travesty that they're potentially going to be the reason the reason that Brendan Rodgers walks for the second time at the end of next season. Because if they back Brendan Rodgers, right, and I don't get this argument, you're not going to back him, he's not going to commit, bollocks. I don't subscribe to it at all.
He wants to show him that you're going to back him.
He said that. He's come out and said that. He said that I need to earn my place here and I need to be shown. And they've not done that. So see if they come out, they've done all they can to keep Brendan Rodgers, and Brendan Rodgers went like that. Do you know what? Nah, I just want to move on. Fair enough. That's fine. On you go. But I've got a feeling Brendan Rodgers, after they leave Celtic Football Club, is going to come out and probably say something against the board. Because it's the board that have left.
I hope he doesn't sign a non-disclosure. I hope he doesn't, because we deserve to know what's going on in there. Because
but in terms of the board, they've got a month to make it up, but I just don't think
they're
it's just
not going to do it, but they're on it by now.
Aye, no, definitely. But it is. We need to just see obviously what happens, Alistair. And hopefully we get some news on incomings, and obviously we'll see what happens.
How long have we been saying that, Joe?
Exactly, that's the problem. But there's not much else that we can do. But I'm going to wrap it up there for today's video. And obviously we'll be back with more videos leading up to that game on Sunday, Celtic kick-off their domestic league season at home to St Mirren on Sunday as well.
For God's sake, Celtic, don't let Peter Lawwell out in the park or they'll turn into a bear pit.
I know. But until then, we'll speak to you later. And hail, hail.
Hail, hail.